Tomorrow, I'm going to have to vote on your behalf on a bill that has divided many, and I can see why. The assisted dying bill asks many questions of all of us. It asks questions about the role of the state, the nature of the National Health Service, and our own responsibilities towards our most vulnerable loved ones, and in fact ourselves, at the end of our lives. So it's a question of freedom of expression, of course it is, but it's a question about much more than that. And I thought I owed it to you to explain to you how I'm going to vote and why. Well, first off, I'm going to vote against this bill. Now, I am a practicing Roman Catholic, and that does inform the way I view the world, but that's not the only thing that's informing my decision. One of the things that we have all seen in recent years is that some of the most vulnerable people in our society can be treated badly by systems that are not always geared to their greatest protection. That's a real problem. And it's something we've got to take extremely seriously in a bill that offers the possibility of ending life. Therefore, something beyond which there's no appeal, there's no possible compensation, there's no way back. So this is a really important consideration. What does it mean? What are the protections that could possibly be put in to make sure that the most vulnerable amongst us, that those with disabilities, and by definition, if the medics say that you're in the last 6 months of your life, then you're almost by definition covered by the Disability Act. What does it mean to offer protections? Now, I don't think that this bill offers very good protections. One of the questions it raises is about having 2 doctors signing off the request. 2 doctors, the first 2 doctors, or are those 2 doctors any 2 doctors? Can you run through 100 doctors before you find 2 doctors who agree? It's not clear. And the reality is there are many areas in which this bill also raises further questions. It claims that there's a protection in having a High Court judge, but High Court judges in our system, in our legal system, they don't do investigations. That's not what they do. So what is the High Court judge supposed to do? And on what grounds are they supposed to refuse? Are they supposed to do an inquiry into the nature of the family? Are they supposed to ask questions about the dependency of others or the pressures that the individual might be put on? That's not within their powers or competence. That's not what judges do in our system. So this bill doesn't answer some pretty fundamental questions, nor does it actually really have time to address them, because although this is only the first stage, it's true, it will set the tone for the entire rest of the debate. And the truth is, in private members' bills, you don't have the preparation that you'd have for a government bill. You haven't got the civil servants getting it ready. You haven't got the impact statements and all the subsequent legislation ready. That's one of the reasons why the Health Secretary and the Justice Secretary have both been recorded as saying that they're not supportive because of the pressures that it will put and the challenges that it will put on their own departments. Now, I think those are reason enough for rejecting it. But for me, the fundamental reason is that I think it's important that when people are at their most vulnerable, when they are most in need of help, they should know that the state is there to protect them, that it's there to be on their side. And that's where I'm really concerned that the National Health Service could find itself being pressured in different ways. And we've already seen in Canada that some veterans, in a moment of great vulnerability, in a moment when they've been really diminished by depression and really beaten down, have turned to effectively suicide and state-sponsored, rather than being able to be offered the help that they need. And that's not a situation that I want to see. So for all those reasons, tomorrow I'll be voting against the assisted dying bill. I know that many of you will disagree with me, and I respect your position. I don't think that this is a clear-cut answer for anybody. I think there are people of goodwill and honour and genuine judgment on both sides of this argument. But that's my position, and I think it's right that I stick by it.